Good morning, everyone. Hello. Hey, and welcome to the Loven Stamp Studio. My name is Meg, and you are watching Maker Mornings with Meg. So today's video is going to feature a stamp set that has a punch. So I love punch bundles. They just make things come together so quickly. And it features a card layout that I am going to throw out there as the best card layout ever. I don't know. I think it's pretty defensible. It is super easy to create. It is super easy to coordinate with whatever supplies you have on hand. It literally works for every occasion. And it is really easy to just duplicate. Super easy for design and everything. So I think that this one is going to be the best. It's the 3x4 card layout, which basically means you're starting with a card base. So we have our regular piece of cardstock. We fold it in half like this, and then we take a 3x4 layer and place it in the center. So it makes a great focal point. It's just really good card design, and it comes together really cleanly. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and why I love it so much. And the stamp set we're going to use, if you haven't guessed, is Humble Home, and featuring this fun house builder punch. So if you haven't seen the new book, it is the bundle that's featured right on the front cover there. They have all these little ideas of how to use it, and I love them. And yeah, lots of cool ones. So we might take a look at some of those just for ideas. Morning, Joan. Hey, Carol. Yeah, say hi. Always good to see where everybody's coming from. And with that, let's go ahead and flip our camera down so we can get started here. All right, so our colors for today are coming directly from the Regal Distressed Designer Series paper. So inspiration for this, of course, I love to just pull colors from a Stampin' Up! DSP because I know that the artists at Stampin' Up! Have already coordinated these colors to look fabulous together. Plus, then I have extra elements to use with them. So when I originally made this card, it was for a demonstrator card swap for my advisory board alumni friends. And so I made a whole bunch of these and sent them in and got a bunch of cards back, of which you've seen many of them in some of our other videos. And I am going to recreate that card for you because it comes together so nicely. And then depending on our time, we will go ahead and maybe make another version with a whole different suite so you can kind of see how that process works to mix and match and do things differently. Hey, Nikki. All right, so we have our peacock cardstock here, and then I have this card layer that's cut from pecan pie cardstock. And this is actually cut to 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches because when I do a 3x4 card, I was looking to see what's behind me. When I do a 3x4 card, I really like to have these pieces layered on top of each other. So here's actually another 3x4 card. This one used a 3x4. It looks like DSP, but it's actually from a Memories and More card kit. So 3x4 printed card kit that I stamped on, and then a cardstock contrast layer behind it that's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So really, really quick card here. And we're going to do our version today. Hey, Rita. All right, so let's see. So instead of using a full piece of this, especially when you have a card where you have to make multiples of something, you don't have a ton of the paper, it sometimes works to do little strips of things. So this is where these 1x3 strips came in. So instead of covering this whole background like I usually do on a 3x4 card, I decided to layer these strips here like this, okay? So we're kind of creating the illusion of a big piece of cardstock in the background, or a big piece of DSP in the background. Hey, Inika. But we are covering only a small part, so we're kind of making the most of our supplies. So then I decided I wanted to give this some extra interest in the background though. So what we're gonna do is we're going to emboss that, and I've got here my Fun Patterns embossing folders. And so I'm going to grab, this is the daisy one, which we just used recently on a floral card, but I love this sort of argyle pattern. So we're going to take this and run through. And if you're using Stampin' Up! Embossing folders, you'll notice right away that these are the thin kind. So join me here at my embossing station. And we're going to just remember, wait a minute, what are we doing for our embossing sandwich? This is a little different. So I can look right on here And this spot right here is talking about embossing folders, and right here is talking about using a thin embossing folder. So it's going to be just a clear plate on the bottom, my sandwich, a clear plate on the top, and then we go in hinge first. So super simple. The directions are right there, so you don't have to worry about forgetting. And you feel super empowered to use all of your embossing folders. I think something maybe just fell off back there. Oh, anyway. Okay, so then we're going to take this here, open it up, and we have this cute Argyle on the background. Now, I chose to do this before adding our designer series paper because I wanted to have the pattern not be part of the designer series paper. I wanted it to just be in our background. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this on here. And then the next one. Do you guys have a favorite card layout for doing when you're, trying to make a bunch of something at one time? So we're going to take this, we're going to go ahead and layer this on. I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then we are going to get to work on layering our focal points, our details, and our sort of excitement for the front of our card. So now we've got this great background. I had been cutting paper for paper shares, so I had to clear off my, drop that in my lap, clear off my workspace, and then you have to get everything back out again. So, all right, so we have our background here, and you can see that this really could go anywhere. You could do anything with this card layout, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our humble home here. So super cute stamps, and we're going to put together, like I said, got some things that I've put away. This should do it. And maybe one more block up here. Speaking of which, if you are thinking that you would like to participate in the paper share and you didn't get signed up, I do have 2 spots left. So I've left the form open if you would like to jump in. Now, remember, did you guys see what I almost did there? I almost set this down on top like this. And so instead, you want to set your photopolymer stamps down and then pick them up with your block. That way you know you're not accidentally bending them out of shape when you pick them up, because when it has to coordinate with a punch, it has to be the right shape. You can't have it just be a little bit off. All right, and then we need this guy. And this one doesn't coordinate, but I have a habit of picking them up that way. And then we need our greeting, which this is a really big block for that greeting. I don't know about you guys. I really avoid using overly large blocks with my stamps because I feel like I find that I don't get as good of a stamp impression. I have a much more common tendency to like get ink on everything in the block because I've pushed too hard. So I really like to try to size my blocks to my stamps appropriately. So, okay, so we have our piece here. Let's go ahead and stamp our house. I have been finding that I prefer to stamp the roof first. Now, you can do whatever works best for you. I like the roof first because then I can see easily through this stamp to get the house underneath in the right place. So I'm going to do pecan pie for our roof and then cherry cobbler here. Make sure this is nicely inked for our house. And do you see how you can see down through the photopolymer and onto the paper? It's just really easy to see where that overlap is going to be. And I like to have almost an overlap, just really, really tight up there, okay? So then I know it's gonna fit nicely in my punch. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this in here. Remember with Stampin' Up! Punches, you're gonna use them upside down like this. I slide my paper in with my left hand and then pinch with my right hand when I get it in the right place so that I can use 2 hands to go ahead and punch out my actual element. Okay, super cute, right? Isn't this fun? So if you look at the pictures here on the front of our book, there are all kinds of different ideas. So this one here, they have done kind of what we've done, except I think that they either used embossing, they write white craft ink in the background on the basic gray paper, and then stamped the basic gray, and then trimmed that out separately. So you could punch it twice and then trim your roof separately. This one is colored here with the markers, Stampin' Blends markers. This one is like what we've done here where they've stamped it and then punched it and then our windows and doors. This one is a lot like this one up here. Again, here stamped and then windows and doors with a little heart on top. So lots of possibilities for this. We are going to take our piece here and I want to repeat our color. So we have Peacock, Pretty Peacock DSP, Pretty Peacock cardstock, and now we're going to use Pretty Peacock ink to go ahead and stamp our door and windows here. Now, you can do this a number of ways. You can use the punch to go ahead and punch out the little squares. In fact, actually, we're going to do that. So we're going to punch one here. Okay, and then we're going to punch one here, but I need to get my door out of the way first. So I'm going to use my scissors and just fussy cut our door, which is pretty simple to do. It's straight lines. I'm going to give them a little bit of a curvy corner just for the design element of it. And then I can take my punch and come back in here to punch out our second window. Or really, if you're just in a hurry, you can go ahead and punch the windows, just cut the windows with your scissors. The nice thing about doing the punch is that they end up exactly the same with the same dimension around the edge. Oh, this one has a goofy edge, so let's just clean that. There we go. All right. Oh, hey, Bonnie. Hey, Lisa. Good to see everybody, Rita and Margie. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add these on here. When I attach tiny things like this, I don't glue on the tiny thing and then try and stick it down because that leads to gluey fingers almost all the time. Instead, I'm going to put some glue down here and then just stick down my piece here. Now, if you're sometimes not sure of how the pieces are supposed to go together, I find that looking back at the book, the catalog, is a really easy way to kind of see how the Stampin' Up! Artists use those pieces. And then you can choose to do the same or different, but we're going to go ahead and pop these on here like that. Okay, so now, it's pretty tiny for you guys. Now we have our cute little house here. You can go ahead and add one extra thing to this. I have this pre-punched. I didn't get this piece out, but this is the the glimmer paper from, let's get a good look at it. This is the glimmer paper from the holiday catalog. It comes in red and green, two different greens, Grand Apple Green and sort of like garden green, I think, are the two colors. But because our little house has this punch here, we have our little heart that we can go ahead and add to the top. So I have a little heart here to put on our house. Okay, so let's look at our layout here. We're gonna pop this on. Now, the nice thing about having these strips of paper here is that our house isn't floating on our card. It has a place to be anchored, so it has a little spot that's easy. And then we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a greeting in the background. So I have a piece of basic white cardstock here left over, and we're gonna go ahead and use our heart, and I'm gonna stamp it in cherry cobbler, but it's going to be pretty dark if I stamp it full strength. So I'm actually going to stamp off, let's see, once I think is good enough, and then I'm gonna stamp on our project. So now we have this color, cherry cobbler. So it's still cherry cobbler in color tone, but it's lighter than the full strength version of our cherry cobbler because that would have overpowered our words. And then I'm gonna grab our pecan pie pad again and ink up from our house to yours. So there's lots of great things that you could use this card for. You can, of course, use it as a holiday card. It's kind of in the holiday catalog, but really you could do for lots of things. You can do welcome to the neighborhood. You can do, any greeting from one household to another, basically. We have thank you words. We have welcome words. We have for the sweet gift. So that would be kind of a fun thing. You can make two from tags, Christmas, home, all kinds of great things in here. So we're gonna pop this here behind like so, and I'm gonna put these up on Stampin' Dimensionals. And don't worry if you are concerned that we haven't put any bling on this card yet. The bling is still coming. And then we're gonna stamp a little bit on the inside of our card too. So All right, so we have this here. I've got a piece of cardstock. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4, so that we can go ahead and add this here. And actually, I'm gonna do something a little different. So for our house here, I wanna put the heart on top, but I don't want it to disappear so much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try, and actually haven't tried this before, so who knows, I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna clean off my heart stamp here, and we're gonna use it to pull ink away from our house. So let's see how this works. We're gonna get a good amount of ink on here, and now this is a clean stamp. So yes, it's stained red, which is not a problem. It makes it easier to see where I'm going, but there's no ink on it. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, it's called kissing here. We're gonna kiss our heart stamp there against our house, and then we're gonna go ahead and pop this on our actual card. Oh, it works pretty well. Let's see, pretty well. Let's try it one more time. So actually, that's fun. You can see here on our, I'll show you this on our scrap paper. You can see the heart with the texture on it. So kind of a cool deal. Actually, that's kind of a fun image too. Let's see. So we're gonna clean this off one more time. I'm gonna ink it. And let's see, maybe if we stamp off one time, then it'll be a little bit easier to spot. So here's our clean heart stamp. There we go. Oh, I think it's gonna be a little lighter. And we're gonna put this down here. Oh, that worked much better. Okay, so then when there's not so much ink on this stamp, it's a little easier. Oh, you can see where I like to do the other first. Yeah, I think that turned out pretty cool. When there's not so much ink on the stamp, it's a little easier to get that little kissed off image to show up. So nothing like trying things during our video, right? All right, so let's go ahead and pop this on here. We're gonna do our embellishment with a little bling, and then I'm gonna pull out a whole other set of supplies, and we're going to take a look at what this card layout would look like with that other suite. So that's coming here in a second. So what embellishments to use on this? I decided to pull out the Regal foil adhesive back dots. These are from the same suite, the Season of Elegance suite that this paper is from. And so you know that these embellishments are going to be a great match. And in fact, we have these ones here that work with the blues and the, I think these are actually sort of Blackberry Bliss, but they work really nicely as the reds too. So I'm going to pull this one here and pop down right there. Let's see. So what we're going to do is we want to use our accents to pull your eye to our focal point, which is going to be our greeting. So we've added our accent right here. Okay. Let's see. Bonnie said, thanks for the tips with using the glue. Oh yeah. This is like a love-hate for a lot of people. I am firmly in the love this camp. I didn't used to love it, but really, I think the best answer if you're having trouble with this glue is to use less. If you can see it, it is enough. It is really literally very true. I believe if you can see the amount of glue that you put on your paper, that's plenty. Don't add any more. Okay, Betty said, have you tried to make a tag that opens so that fold along on the left rough-line? Oh, yeah. Let's see. I bet I have some cardstock right here, and we could go ahead and could try that. So the trick with punches is that they don't love to be punched through 2 layers of cardstock. So it's kind of at your own risk, but let's see here. If we fold our cardstock like this, and then we reach in like this, and we're gonna put that spine there. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is trim away some extra cardstock here so that we can get this in. Let's see, I think it's gonna work. I think you're gonna have to trim a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, nothing like more doing things live on TV here. Okay, there we go, like that, Betty, right? So yes, we're gonna give this a shot. So, yeah. I don't think that the punch likes this. I'm gonna say no, the punch doesn't like this. Too much. Okay, So no, probably the reason is it's trying to punch through this heart at the same time. So you can't get through all of those layers, and you really, really don't want to force your punches. So what I think I might consider doing otherwise is going ahead and making like just folding a piece of cardstock here. So let's see. I would take our cardstock and doing something like this, and then having a tag with a little hole on the corner, and then I would go ahead and punch a house to layer on top of that. So I would do the tag probably like this. Actually, that would be backwards from the stamping, but yeah. So yeah, Betty says thanks for trying. Hey, I am here for you. Happy to give stuff a shot. So actually, that would be a really cute tag. Now I kind of want to make tags too. Tis the season, right? To be making tags. All right, so let's bring in our second set of supplies here. And you guys can see what you think. We have here our suite from Nest of Winter. And this one is a really, really gorgeous suite. I love all of the cards in here, and I love the designer series papers and how beautiful they are. Plus has great easy greetings and so forth, and this super fab birch embossing folder. So what I would do with this one is to go ahead and pop this on here with our birch. Now you would notice right away if you're holding this that this is a thick folder. So when we go to do our embossing on this, we're gonna go ahead and use no clear plates and just our number 4 platform here. Oops, usually put it on the top, sorry. Our number 4 platform, and then run this through here to get our birch background. So let's pull that. All right, so here is our birch folder. You can see that really gorgeous pattern, and I realize I just did it. The birch lines go horizontally, not vertically, but well, that'll be okay. All right, and then we're gonna take this, so this will layer here, and we're gonna pull out from this designer series paper these gorgeous, gorgeous birds here. And these birds here coordinate with the dies. So what I can do is pull out the dies from our set, and we can die cut ourselves. Which ones are the ones that match it? We can die cut ourselves. Okay. It is a set of birds that coordinate here. Let's give ourselves some help, and it's on this page, right? I know you guys have done this one already. Maybe it's on the other page. Here it is. Dun, da, da. No wonder I couldn't get it to match. We're gonna die cut ourselves some of these birds. Oh my goodness, some days, right? So let's go ahead. I'm gonna trim between here. So when I have a paper like this that I know I'm gonna do a lot of die cutting from, I generally do sort of a big open cut like this, and then take this to my die cut machine. And since I already have the tape on here, I've been using this with some stamped images. That card you'll be seeing sometime soon. Now I can take this to my die cut machine and go ahead and pop this through. I'm gonna put back on our plate and add this between 2 clear cutting mats. Be careful to make sure that the edges of your paper are all gonna go straight through the cutting platform here, because we don't want to crimp the paper at the edges when we're just running that through. Okay, and now we have a set of very pretty die cut birds. Okay, so these can go on our card. And then we have the choice to use either this strips of the Regal Distressed cardstock, or we could use the backs of papers from our same suite here. So some really pretty opportunities here. And let's see, maybe we'll just go ahead with our Regal strips here because they're already cut for us, and they're such a nice match. So let's go ahead and pop these on here. So I'm gonna grab some glue, and yeah, you can see how little glue I actually use on here. We're gonna pop this down, and we're gonna pop this one down. And then we're going to have our layered birds. They're going to go on top like this. And then we need our greeting in the background. So I have our sending thanks. And I haven't used a ton of stamps from this one yet. So this is a good chance if you haven't seen stamps being mounted before. Hey, Sue. Hey, Anna. They go vertically up the tree. Sorry, Sue. I've lost track of what's going on here. So when you open up your stickers, you're going to go ahead and peel the backing off the sticker sheet. I like to lay this on the table so that it's not being bent or messed up or moved or anything. You're going to peel the backing off of the stamp. So you're going to expose this foam. And then I just lay it down right there in that shadow. The shape of the die cut is the same on the sticker and the stamp. So they should line up perfectly. And then you have your stamp ready to go. Okay. All right. So let's put this one over here. We're going to do our sending our thanks. And let's see, I think we can still use this one. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to stamp here with our greeting, sending thanks and much love. That was not as dark as I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it again. I'm going to make sure that I look at my stamp here. Let's see, hopefully this isn't too big now. And then stamp again. And then I'm going to use, this is the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. So just pop that out exactly where I want it. And then we have our birds here like this. So let's go ahead and stick these guys down with some dimensionals. It doesn't take a lot. You can see I'm sparing on my adhesive all the time. And we're gonna pop this here like this. And then I like to use dimensionals to stick down my 3x4 layer. So what do you guys think? Are you convinced yet? 3x4, not the perfect layout, the best card layout ever. Certainly not the only card layout to use, but I just find it to be so convenient. And then I think we're going to use our dots again since we have them here. And I'm just going to put one, maybe we'll do a couple. Put one down here and one here and one kind of, down here, I think. There we go. So now they're kind of surrounding our birds, which is really kind of drawing your eye. Oops, sorry guys. Is drawing your eye down to this section a little bit. Okay. All right. So a really, really simple idea there. And then of course, if you wanted to add another set of birds inside your card, you can go ahead and stamp. And I might do this here in, I'm going to do it in pecan pie to draw that pecan pie from the front of our card to the inside of our card. And we're just going to stick these guys down here like that. Oops. Okay. And then go ahead and mount this here inside our card. So 3x4, are we convinced yet? Yay. Sue says she likes 3x4. Thanks, Sue. It is just a really easy card to implement. So 2 different ideas here using the same card layout. Of course, you could vary these much more. You could add different designer series papers. You could do different stamps. You could do different colors, all kinds of different possibilities. But definitely here is one way to make a really simple and quick card layout, and then a really easy way to make something that's pretty duplicatable. So have a good dinner, Enika. Yay, Nikki, I'm glad you like the 3x4 too. Yeah, also these colors just make me happy. So a lot of times when I'm just not feeling super inspired on what colors I want to stamp, I'll just look straight to a designer series paper and copy right out of the suggestions that Stampin' Up! Has shared with us. So I think these turned out pretty well. So here's some fun ideas for you with this stamp set. All right, guys. Yay! Okay, good. I'm glad everybody's happy with the layout. So in the video description, of course, is a supply link for all the supplies that I've used, both the Nests of Winter Suite collection and then also, of course, our Humble Home bundle. And there is a link. I have 2 more spots for the paper share. And if you are interested in jumping in for that, please do. I'll close the link when they go. So don't. If you go to sign up and it's like, oh, sorry, it's already closed, then you'll know that those 2 spots were taken. They also, I do have the embellishments available. So with that, you're going to get half a package of all of the embellishments from the holiday catalog, dots and the earth tone shimmer gems and the coveted and very popular peppermints. I haven't looked to see if they're back in the shop yet. They're supposed to be back this week. The Jersey Elements and the Regal Distressed things that we use today. And let's see, there should be 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing one. Oh, this one, the gold adhesive back textured dots. And then if you get the paper share and the half embellishments share too, then you get a whole package of the loose snowflakes, which I am adoring. So anyway, if you guys haven't signed up, that is an add-on option for the paper share. So, all right, everyone, have a super fun. Oh, Bonnie says they're not back in yet. They will be. Hang in there, guys. It's the week of the 16th, so sometime this week, I think. All right, so I think that covers us for this Tuesday and Maker Mornings with Meg. We will be back on Thursday with another card. And spoiler alert, cover your ears if you don't want to know. It's going to be another Z-Fold card because we're featuring Z-Fold cards this month for our More Than Autumn bundle and Loven Stamps monthly tutorials. So I think you guys are going to be excited about that layout. And with that, I will let you go. Have a really wonderful day, and I will look forward to seeing you again on Thursday. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything. Oh my gosh, I didn't tell you. Tomorrow is free shipping day. So orders with a minimum of $75, I think, will get free shipping. So if there are things that you've been wanting to get from this new catalog, tomorrow is the greatest day. And of course, I love it when you guys shop with me. It supports my videos and my ability to keep making these. So thank you. And yeah, I'll send you an email to my distribution list too. So if you're not getting emails from me already, you can go to lovenstamps.com and sign up for my email newsletters there. So happy stamping, everyone. And I'll see you on Thursday. Take care.